I almost named this stream Bored of Peace, BORED, because of this nonsense. Trump announced his boring of peace. The boring company has struck again, and most of it was flap. Most of it was like, we're the hottest country, we're a dead country, that kind of shit. Like, he's on autopilot. But I gotta say, he was not happy. Talking about, like, I got up at 4 and I was like, but baby, I have so much to do. There's so much. This is exciting. I want to go down there. There's all this new, like, music and live streaming gear that's going to be there. I also want to look at gear that's going to be available for Nerd Halen to use live. And so my mind is like a flutter with all the stuff that might be going on. And then, um, uh, cut to Donald Trump having to get up at a normal hour, I think at like what's effectively 9 a.m. and do work. And he's been in these little spot meetings to make him look like he's got vim and vigor. And well, you'll see. Just a little bit of this. We'll do a little taste of this. It says, it's funny because I looked down this when I saw it this morning. You can see down the bottom how long it is. It's 59 minutes. It's not 59 minutes. His speech is of, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 minutes. But you can tell he's over it before he starts. And he's just going, like, I just want to say the stuff I like to say because it makes people mad or they pay attention to me or whatever. And well, I'll show you. There's a moment where, where I'm going to save it. Because I'm just going to say, let me lead with this. There's a lot of foreign names. We'll just leave it there, okay? There are a lot of difficult to pronounce foreign names if you've never left, Manhattan and West Palm Beach and you only talk to people named Johnny Cracker all the time. So Johnny Cracker's a character I'm working on. We'll get to that later. He was fired from his job at Honky Bucket. All right, so here we go. Let's hit it. Oh, God. Also, tepid applause is... He's not enjoying the tepid applause. There's been a bunch of tepid applause. The Elon Musk thing was pathetic. Like the Larry Fink had to like insist the audience clap more for the Elon Musk gathering at whatever this was. Gaggle where he rambles on about fucking the future and we're gonna expanding consciousness beyond the universe. It's the DMT talking. Anyway,
well, this is a very exciting day.
Yeah, we're all very excited. You can tell how excited you are, and nothing says excitement like saying, "This is exciting."
Long in the making, and many countries have just received their notice, and everybody wants to be a part of it.
Sorry, they just received their notice? What are you, passing out fucking flyers? What are you, an indie band? This is my new indie band. We're the Board of Peace, man. We're kind of somewhere between Jellyfish and Age of Electric. Which would be awesome, by the way, if there was a band like that.
And we'll work with many others, including the United Nations. But I want to thank you all for being here. Yesterday, we had an incredibly successful visit with many of the world's top business leaders, the best, the biggest, most successful, and foreign heads of state. And now
in the FinSec and tech sectors, obviously, not a lot of like farmers who are really successful at what they do, or not a lot of engineers and laborers.
Now we have one of the most important meetings of all, the official formation of what is known as the Board of Peace. I want to thank.
Why is he exhausted already? Patui, I said the exact same thing. There was this like, he was huffing and puffing because he walked. I'll tell you why. Because he entered from this side of the stage. He entered from, he walked past the people, so he had to shake a couple of hands. So it must be, give him a break. He's exhausted.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner. And their extraordinary work. I mean, they've done an amazing job. We have peace in the Middle East.
No, we do not.
Nobody thought that was possible. We've settled 8 wars, and I believe another one's coming.
By the way, he unsettles a couple of them during this. Like, I mean, they're settled, but they're not really settled, but they'll be settled. And oh, by the way, I settled well, wait till he describes them.
Pretty soon. You know what that is? The one that I thought was going to be an easy one has turned out to be probably the most difficult. Last month, 29,000 people died, mostly soldiers.
Did 1,000 people come back to life? Because yesterday he gave a speech where it was 30,000. It was 30,000 yesterday. It's 29,000 today. So I'm glad they pulled through.
Ukraine, Russia. Think of that, 29,000.
Yeah, you said 30,000. I'm thinking about it because you said 30,000 yesterday.
27,000 in the month before.
I thought it was 29,000 the month before. So it jumped up 2 and then 1,000 people came to life. Oh my God. The breaking news is there's apparently a zombie infestation in the Donbass.
26,000 in the month before that.
So I guess Ukraine's making progress.
It's terrible. But we have meetings and we think we're making a lot of progress.
You do? You think that? Well, keep thinking that, dummy.
Thanks as well to Secretary Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, and Chris Wright, U.S. Trade Representative,
for helping us buy the dip on our manufactured collapse of the stock market on a regular schedule.
Jameson Greer, they're all doing such an incredible job. Ambassador Callista Gingrich, who is
Callista Gingrich is difficult to say if it's when you got that much slobber in your mouth. He's doing a lot of slobbering too.
Here, doing a fantastic, really fantastic work. Thank you, Callista. And many other
He caught himself saying fantastic job too much.
Members of my administration who are so committed to peace, and they're also committed to great success. Very important.
Which, normally Republicans view those two things as mutually exclusive.
Importantly, let me recognize the very first group of distinguished members of the Board of Peace. They will.
Yeah. By the way, you'll notice, I think when he shows the people, like Viktor Orban, and I think the leader of the Philippines, and then everybody else, you're like, who the fuck is that?
Be introduced by name in just a moment. Caroline will be doing that introduction.
Why will Caroline be doing it? Because they're a bunch of funny sounding names and it's really hard for him to say, Shujabar Mufargarbadan. That's why. So this is going to be the thing going forward, by the way. Anytime there's going to be a bunch of foreign leaders, this is the new reality. Caroline Leavitt or someone else will say their names while he sits at a table, by the way, signing paper. It's like an autograph session. That's what this is. This is the when you buy the VIP ticket at the WEF this year, you get to go stand in line to sign something with Donald Trump like it's fucking Comic-Con.
And to each and every one of you, we are truly honored by your presence today. Leaders of countries, in most cases, very popular leaders. Some cases, not so popular, but that's the way it goes in life.
By the way, this is a regular trick he's using where he thinks he's breaking the ice about how everybody's likable and some people aren't likable, and some people I like this guy and I don't like this guy, and some people I like and some people I don't, because it's like he's being artificially real in that moment, and he uses this over and over again.
Thanks as well to.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Let's see up here. Whoops. I scanned anything on it. Yes. Oh, the mic is fading in and out. Okay, sorry about that. I will work on that. Hopefully it will fix. Beg your pardon. I'll bring it up a little bit in volume. I need echo cancellation because I'm not playing out speakers, so I should be all right.
To President Karol Nawrocki of Poland, who's a fantastic man. He just won a very big election. I'm very proud of him.
Oh, he gets a little bit. Somebody jump starts an applause for the new Prime Minister of Poland. It's like there's probably 400 people in there, and there's like 80 of them clap.
Amazing.
That's when you're telling a joke or making a statement in a speech, and you take that card that was in the speech and you throw it away afterwards. That was supposed to do much better.
Along with former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair. Thank you, Tony, for being here. We appreciate it.
He
And
gets real
members of the
applause.
Board of Peace Executive Board. Great group. This week marks the
Is there a middle management board? Sorry, I'm already bored of this speech. Board of speech.
1-year anniversary of my second inauguration as president. No administration in history has achieved such a sweeping turnaround in 12 months' time at home and abroad. We have a tremendous mandate. We won the popular vote by millions.
I know you guys think I'm all horribly unqualified, but let me tell you, I was picked by a bunch of dumbasses, okay? So stop thinking I'm supposed to be here. Stop looking at me like this is Trump's imposter syndrome kicking in.
We won every swing state to 7. They were saying, can he win all 7? Is it possible? Because it's not done. And we won all 7.
It's done a lot.
We have a great mandate back at home. As I said yesterday, the U.S. economy is booming with virtually no inflation. It was one.
Somebody just said, Hal, Anna Kasparian apologized yesterday. Should we accept it? No, because she's only doing it so that she can undermine the vote for the midterms. Because if you get back into the good graces of like, oh, she's come back home, and then you start listening to her, and she'll start right around June, she and Cenk will start shitting on Democrats, 10 times for every time they attack a Republican, leading up to the midterms and accusing the establishment from, keeping the real truth out, blah, 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 and depressing the vote. That's their fucking gig over there. So you can accept, you can forgive, but not forget. And you can also, I would say, don't forgive, but you can forget. You're like, I let it go, but I'm not going to give you the same benefit of the doubt ever again. I will not give to you as before. I will guard my heart. I will harden my heart. I will swallow my tears. I will turn and leave you here.
0.2% for the
That was my Tori Amos version of Pat Benatar, apparently.
last 3 months. And we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country.
No, you didn't. Joe Biden did due to supply shock.
And we have economic growth now of 5.4%.
No, we don't.
Looks like.
Looks like if you don't look at anything else.
And I think that number can double and triple.
No, we're not going to have 15% growth, you fucking weirdo. It could double and triple. Yes, I suppose over the next 3 decades.
If we do the right things.
What would be... Yeah, okay, real quick. About that whole what qualifies as a right thing. That's what concerns me.
And if we change things.
By the way, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Subscribe, patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Also follow me on all my socials because apparently I'm supposed to say all that shit.
So that if you announce good numbers, the markets go up. Instead of if you announce good numbers, the market goes down because everybody tries to kill it by lowering or raising interest rates.
Everybody, I was trying to raise and lower interest rates yesterday. I hadn't made a decision which one.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah, most times I will raise them, but sometimes, depending on the situation, I will lower them. So hold on, let me pop this up there. Yeah, there was a super chat. How incriminating do the Epstein files have to be for the Republicans to go wall to wall with Jack Smith? Well, that was the point brought up by many Democrats on the panel. We're going to look at some of that today, ladies and gentlemen. At these guys whiffing like crazy, especially Jim Jordan, who I don't know is particularly sensitive about people looking into his past. And who he converses with in regards to that past.
When America booms, the entire world booms.
Yes, yes, especially Venezuela, Iran, Syria,
and
Gaza.
We have secured commitments for
the Donbass, Sudan. Who gives a shit about Sudan? Never brought up once in this entire get-together. Doesn't even, I almost think he brings up these 8 wars he settled, like these fucking, pissing contests that are about the geopolitical equivalent of a Real Housewives fight. And then just so he can avoid talking about Sudan entirely.
Over $18 trillion in new investment coming into our country, which is a record by many times over, not just by a little bit, by many times. There's no country ever in history that's gotten anywhere near that number.
Yeah, including us.
slashed our trade deficit by 77%. This
Okay, that's
is
terrible.
in 1 year.
Yeah, we didn't increase manufacturing and output of physical goods 77 fucking percent. We just tariffed so much shit that people can't afford to buy it anymore. We lowered what we buy from other countries without any replacement. And then he had to do a bunch of carve outs. And also, when was this stat true? In June, when everybody was like, oh, fuck tariffs? Or like before or after taco number 1, 2, or 3?
Yesterday was 1 year, and signed historic trade deals with nations from all over the globe. Today, the world.
Yes, that all the trade deals that we actually signed brought us back to basically where we were at, like somewhere between 1.2 to 2.5% in general on things with carve outs. And like, Jesus Christ, this asshole likes things like it's an attack on Madison, Wisconsin if France floods us with brie.
Is richer, safer, and much more peaceful than it was just 1 year ago. We put out all those fires.
No,
People didn't know, including me, that some of those wars were going on.
You had to convince people they still were to convince people that you had gotten rid of them.
Some of them were going on for, in one case, 32 years, in another case, 35 years, and another one, 37 years.
Yeah, they basically boiled down to border skirmishes and arguments, which they're, by the way, they're still having border arguments and they're still skirmishing.
We were very happy to stop the war that had started with India and Pakistan, 2 nuclear nations. And I was very honored when the Prime Minister of Pakistan said President Trump saved 10 and maybe 20 million lives
by keeping him from bombing India because of trade. Also, it has nothing to do with the fact that that guy was going to pick a fight with the Taliban and wanted the United States to side with him.
Getting that stopped just before bad things were going to happen.
Bad things were always happening.
As president, I ended those 8 wars in 9 months.
Okay, by the way, all the heavy hitters. By the way, there's Javier Milei, and then there's Orban, I think, and then I think that's the head of the Philippines there. Is that Lukashenko? No. I think these guys are together, so I'm not sure. Everybody else, you're like, I'm sorry, this is the executive board of the Board of Peace. Chainsaw dude, like wannabe, Elon Husk over here, and then Victor Orbital over here. These guys are the kings of peace. These are the guys who've been finally we're doing peace now,
including Cambodia and Thailand. And by the way, many of the leaders are here. Kosovo and Serbia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, Pakistan and
by the way, fighting still going on.
India, Israel and Iran.
By the way, he counts Israel and Iran because we bombed Iran with Israel, and that ended what was going on there. There was no peace deal. That's why I keep saying I settled these wars. Keep that in mind. The guy that's starting the Board of Peace says he's settling wars, which means, and this is definitely, almost out of the John Bolton playbook. Like how we end this shit, we just obliterate them. At some point, that's what it has to be. Like the only way to end this war is to destroy one side entirely. Not exactly a Board of Peace kind of thing. And I think the Board of Peace will be discussing like, okay, who do we bomb next to settle this war?
Egypt and Ethiopia, we're working on that right now. I met yesterday with a very good general and a very good leader of Egypt. We're working on a dam that was built, which precludes the Nile River from getting water. It's a little
it precludes
tough situation, but we'll get that settled.
Because he thinks about the Nile and Egypt and being full of water and pyramids.
Really had it just about settled in my first term, and then we had a rigged election. Took me out of commission for a little while, but here I am back. We'll get it settled. But it's a pretty tough situation. A dam was built, and the water doesn't come down to the Nile. When I think of Egypt,
maybe you should just go up to turn on the tap Maybe they have a tap you could turn on, like
I
California.
think of the now, but I think of the now with water in it.
All right, okay. Do you think of it often? Is the Nile in the room with us right now?
Armenia and Azerbaijan, who, I mean, a lot of these leaders have become my friends. They become my friends. They're here.
Do they take your calls late at night?
And of course, the war in Gaza, which is really coming to an end.
It is. It's coming to an end. Sorry, I thought we had eternal peace in the Middle East. Coming to an end? Fuck do you mean coming? I mean, I know what I mean.
Little fires that we'll put out, but they're little. They were giant, massive
Fires.
and now they're down to little fires.
Yes, we went from the big bombing back to the regularly scheduled small bombing.
Put them out very easily. We have 59 countries that are involved in peace in the Middle East. Many of them not in the Middle East. They're near the Middle East. But
yes, they're Middle East adjacent.
they're not in the Middle East.
They feel Middle Eastern, though. They identify as Middle Eastern, even if they're Southwestern.
And many have said that if Hamas doesn't do what they promised they would do, and I think they probably will, but
no, they won't. Why would they?
They were born with rifles in their hands. They were literally born.
No, they were not literally born with rifles. No, that doesn't happen, you fucking psychopath. Figuratively born with rifles in there. All right. No, I would just like to clear that up. I would make it easy for the CNN fact checkers. They were literally not born with rifles in their hands, because I got to tell you, what they have, like a C-section where they shoot their way out.
The first day they had a rifle put into their hands, but
and then it fell out of their hands because they have no grip strength. And if this asshole had raised any of his children, he would know this. They were were they little rifles? Were they little cute ones? Or they just dropped a fucking hot AK that had just fired 50 rounds on top of this newborn baby. What the fuck?
Have to give up their weapons, and if they don't do that,
the babies? I don't think they're going to. They could be especially once they develop grip strength. The concern would be that babies put everything in their mouth, and so the butts of those things can be nasty, especially in that part of the world.
It's going to be the end of them. But many countries have told me we want to go in and do it, and they really are.
Sorry, they want to go in and end them?
Countries that you
the babies
traditionally think of as being involved in that. But that's a fire. Hezbollah in Lebanon, we have to do something about that.
Yeah, that is in the Middle East and is not, safe to say, a peaceful situation right now. So obviously peace in the Middle East, what he means is in about an 8-mile stretch in northern Gaza, western Israel, something like that. It's very localized peace in the Middle East. There's like a block and a half. It's the peace quarter.
These are, I call them remnants. They're small remnants compared to what it was before. It was massive, large, powerful countries fighting each other.
Huh? What, the 56 countries that want to join against Hamas were fighting amongst each other? So they put down their arms just so they could beat the shit out of Hamas, is the idea? This is fucking
lunatic. In another great victory for the ultimate goal of peace in June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear.
Sorry, the ultimate goal of peace.
Enrichment capacity with Operation, we call it Operation Midnight Hammer. It was midnight, it was dark, no moon.
And did they use a hammer, though? If I ever had a
and every single one of those bombs from the B-2 bombers hit the air shafts and went deep into the earth.
Easy there, pal. I'm starting to lose focus on what the words in the background say.
And totally obliterated everything that.
Yes, and this should be really called, if you really think about it, the Board of Obliteration, because that's how I'm going to solve the rest of these wars, is just pick a side and blow up the other one.
They were 2 months away from having a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And Iran does want to talk, and we'll talk.
Yes, I think the last phrase I heard was something along the lines of them telling you to go fuck yourself. It's still talk. I mean, technically speaking, they want to keep yelling at you, keep yelling "Death to America" and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
We've also hit ISIS in Syria, and very
in the name of peace,
strongly, as you know. In my first administration, I took out al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS, and he was trying to start it up again because due to the tremendous talent of General Raisin Kane, as I call him, he wiped out ISIS in a period of 3 weeks in my first term.
Apparently not, because you're still hitting them in Syria, so you didn't wipe them out. That would be, I mean, I'm just saying there's a logical fallacy here that needs attention.
We had a great first term, but the second...
That whole, the last year, I get a mulligan on that one. I mean, I know I said stick a light bulb up your ass and drink bleach and you'll be fine, and COVID will go away when the sun comes out like snot on a banister, but it'll dry up and blow away like a booger. I know I said that. And the world economy crashed. And the next president had to do cleanup again, as all Democrats have to do after a Republican.
Term is, I think, blowing it away, actually. But we took out ISIS, and
in the name of peace,
we hit. It was gone, but during the Biden administration, it formed again a little bit.
A little bit.
We hit it very hard in Syria. And Syria, by the way, I spoke with the president, is making a lot of progress, tremendous progress, actually. We're very happy about that. We took off all sanctions, which gives them a chance to
sell Captagon to the rest of the countries again and build up their financial infrastructure based on the drug trade in the Middle East again, because they're basically the Colombia of the Middle East. You do realize that your buddies in the Abraham Accords still have their sanctions on them, as it were.
And he is working very, very hard. And
not smart, but hard.
I think he's going to put it all together. So many things are happening, many good things. Threats to Europe and America, the Middle East, and other places are really calming down.
Are they? I think Tucker just had a dude on his show that was saying that Russia wants to bomb Berlin and the UK.
It's a lot different than it was just 1 year ago. Just 1 year ago, the world was actually on fire. A lot of people didn't know it.
Yeah, well, we fire's easy to miss. Most of us, especially when it shows up on the news, nobody watches fires anymore.
And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard.
In the name of peace.
They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
What's it all about, Muslims?
Much of this unprecedented success is possible because I rebuilt our military in my first term.
Peace through obliteration.
Now we're making it even stronger. We have a budget of over $1 trillion this year, and next year we're going to $1.5 trillion. Our country's never done better economically. We're taking in numbers that we've never taken in. Not only the
even still
fact that the investment is at 18 trillion plus, but
plus, yeah, because he even gets bored of his bullshit numbers.
Our jobs numbers, everything is, I think, maybe better than ever before. I think you...
No. Well, I mean, affordability is a hoax. What am I talking about? Also, hit that like, share the show. Super chat's always welcome, etc.
Going to see and a lot of you are investing in our country. I think you're going to be extremely happy with your investments. I think you'll see numbers like you haven't seen before.
He means paying him off. They're investing in our country by, running your money through World Liberty Financial, the Donald Trump FinSec scam.
I also secured commitments from virtually all NATO allies to increase their defense spending to 5% of GDP. Everybody but Spain. I don't know what's happening with Spain. Why?
They're having a siesta right now. It's the middle of the afternoon. You can't expect.
Would they not do that? They want a free ride, I guess, huh?
Huh?
Every country but Spain increased to 5%.
So your negotiating skills still suck.
I don't know why. We're going to have to talk to Spain. With America's renewed attention to security of the Western Hemisphere, I've stopped the invasion on our southern border and designated the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
In the name of peace, so that he can use the authorized use of military force against law enforcement targets.
And you probably saw that we've virtually stopped almost 100% all drugs coming in by water. And now we're going to stop them on land. The land is easy.
Yeah, because it's way easier to bomb people driving.
The water is tough.
Yeah, it is. It looks soft, but if you fall far enough, it's like concrete.
But that's down now. I heard it just last night. It was 97. Now it's 98.1%.
Why did that one fisherman die in the hospital in Colombia?
And we're trying to figure out who are the 2% that are willing to get onto those boats. I don't
Ask Don
think they
Jr.
watch
He probably knows them personally.
television or the news. But we've taken out almost 100% of all of the drugs coming into the United States by water. And now we'll, I think, very easily stop them on land. That's the easy part.
We will bomb them in the water. We will bomb them on the land. And then when we find out that most fentanyl comes into the United States through trucks and mostly airplanes in the suitcases of American citizens, we will blow Delta out of the sky.
We wanted to wait till the other was taken care of. And earlier this month, thanks to the unrivaled skill, power, and might of the U.S. military, we have the most powerful military in the world by far.
Board of Peace.
We captured the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro, and the people of Venezuela are very happy about it. And we're having great relationships with the new leaders of Venezuela.
You mean the people that were right in line behind him who benefited from the exact same system, but now they don't have to deal with him? They're now in charge? I can imagine their excitement.
Relationships have been good. We're opening up the country to our giant oil companies.
You know, because imperialism sucks.
And it's going very well. We've already taken out, think of this, 50 million barrels of oil.
We took it out or they gave it to us? I forget. Was it a bribe to... It seems like the vice president bribed you with 50 million barrels of oil to kidnap their president so that they could move in. That seems like the scam,
and
right?
A lot of that's going to go back to Venezuela. They'll do more
after the money goes through Qatar,
income
and gets turned into Trump meme coins before turning back into U.S. dollars so that he can skim about $250 million off the top of the
with
sale.
us in a short period of time than they did in years. Because as much oil as they have, and they have a lot, just about the most. After us, there's a couple of countries that are in that category, but we have the most, actually, and they're second between Venezuela and us. We have 62% of the world's oil, but they have very little
So this was a resource attack. Gotcha.
production,
Okay.
so they'll have a lot of production. All the oil companies, we had meetings, you probably saw, all the oil companies want to go in. They want to go in immediately.
No, they don't, actually. And one of them said it was uninvestable, and the rest of them are like, ugh, this again.
They're already touring the sites.
Are they? Is that that's what's happening? But so a bunch of like oil executives are now just flying around Venezuela looking at their gear to take it over?
But our military was amazing. That strike was amazing. We had a second wave coming. We didn't need it.
Nah, we killed enough people, and we used our super weapons and Jewish space lasers. We got everybody. And now I can move on to Board of Peace, now that those people are dead.
They said, no second wave. We don't want a second wave. The first wave was enough.
Is that what you asked? We got a second one right here for you. I got some other guys who want to go in. No, please do not do that. They told me, no, President, please do not do that.
And of course, we're working to end the horrible killing in Ukraine.
You're right. Hard in my heart is Quarter Flash, not Pat Benatar. Thank you for pointing that out, Zip Ahead. I misspoke and I was wrong. I apologize.
A war that should never have happened and would have never happened if I were president. That was not going to happen. I used to speak to Vladimir Putin about Ukraine, and it was the apple of his eye, but he would never have ever done it.
Well, I guess maybe he doesn't like apples.
You can't do that, Vlad.
Maybe he doesn't like eyeballs.
As part of this historic record of major peace initiatives, today we're announcing more details regarding the Board of Peace. So important.
So important. The details. Yes.
This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created.
Yes. Wasn't he the one that made fun of his wife for being on blue ribbon committees that don't do anything but take in a lot of money? Because this sounds like that's what this is. that this is going to be an investment window, and Eric will oversee where that money goes in the same way that he oversaw, donations to St. Jude's.
And it's my enormous honor to serve as its chairman. I was very honored when they asked me to do it.
They didn't ask you. Your own team made it up and suggested you run it. They didn't form the UN didn't form this fucking board. This was concocted by your own people as a PR stunt.
I had an idea to do it, and then they came. They said, "You be the chairman." And but I take it very seriously. We have a great group of people, and incredible young people that are leading it from within.
You mean the people who are actually doing the stuff while you sit there and go, so how great of a chairman am I?
It's running beautifully. Started already.
It did? Okay, so I guess because we already have peace in the Middle East, it kind of grew organically out of that, like dung.
And every country, just about every country, wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, a couple of holdouts. Spain. Russia just offered to give you $1 billion.
And we just sent out the letters a couple of days ago, and these are just the countries that are here. They happen to be in Davos.
Okay. They're representatives from these countries, but the presidents and the leaders don't necessarily gather this. Like, it's not rare. It's not. This is like, I think he wants this to be the G7. I think he thinks this is like another variation on that, and he just I guess he could turn it into that just by showing up, is what he thinks.
Would be honored if you wanted to join us up on the stage. And
only the best of the best came up, and only 400 of the 420 attendees in this room wanted to sit in the dark.
It's really great. They're friends of mine. I think, let me see. Yeah, every one of them is a friend of mine. Let's see, a couple I like, a couple I don't like. No, I like, actually, this group, I like every single one of them. Can you believe it? Usually I have about 2 or 3 that I can't stand. Usually I have 2 or 3 that I don't like.
Yeah, so there's Millet. This dude right here, right there, is over it. I guess this was supposed to be Trump's seat, but he blew past it for the picture. He didn't do it, or didn't want to have to sit down twice and get up. But somebody didn't show.
I like
and whoever they were, they got the white seat.
One of these people. No, they're great people. They're great leaders.
Yeah, look at them. Yeah, I mean, especially the Hitler dude in the back. Is that seriously? Hold on a second. This guy, this dude right here. Is Hitler actually on the Board of Peace? How did they manage to do this? Did they save some of his DNA in a jar? You do realize that haircut and that mustache are, let's say, on a hot or not list. It's heavy on the not. That's bad. Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is that guy?
And the Board of Peace is composed of leaders, the top leaders in the world, actually.
Yeah, the top ones. You recognize all of them. Adolf and company. Holy shit. That's nuts. Wait, back the fuck up. Wait. This dude. That's amazing. This guy right here.
This is composed of leaders.
Oh, he's got a full mustache. It's just when he smiles up, it hides this part of it. Not a good look, dude.
The top leaders in the world, actually.
Hot or
Last
not
October, we released a plan for the permanent end to the conflict in Gaza, and I'm pleased to say that our vision was unanimously adopted by the United Nations Security Council.
Yeah, not the 2 parties engaged in the actual fighting.
Last year, under phase 1 of this plan, we have painstakingly maintained that Gaza, and we're going to have it very strongly, and it's what we have. Maintained the Gaza ceasefire, delivered record levels of humanitarian aid. We've given aid. You know, you used to hear all the people were starving and it was terrible. Now you don't hear that anymore. We've delivered record levels of.
Yeah, because other aid groups have dropped stuff in there. And I think fucking Tony Robbins flew in meals with drones and shit like that. Like there's a bunch of people moving in.
Humanitarian aid. I want to thank the United States, but I want to thank some of the countries.
I want to thank myself for being so awesome.
Sitting right up here, because they've sent great aid, aid also in the form of money, where we go out and purchase food, and you don't hear those stories anymore with people starving. And secured the release of all 20. You know, we secured the release of all 20 living hostages. Now, I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared and everybody for working so hard. They worked so hard, but there were 20 remaining living hostages. Now, we got hundreds out, but the last 20, I said, boy, that's going to be a tough one. And I said,
Biden got a bunch of them out, too.
A year before, and it was a tough one, but we got them. Got all 20, every one of them. And we had also about 28 that were dead, but the parents wanted them just as though they were living, just as much. Some cases, it almost seemed more.
No. Nobody would rather have a corpse than a living child. You fucking weirdo. Nobody. Honest to God, I don't know why he hammers this. He's just amazed that people want the remains of their loved ones back. He doesn't give a shit. So it's shocking to him that even people care about it at all. So the fact that they care just charts really high automatically.
It was amazing, actually, the love but their boy had been killed in just about all cases, young men. Their boy had been killed, and they wanted the body of the boy, and it looked like it couldn't be done. And with the exception of one, and we're close on the track of that. We've got them all, every single one of them, which is amazing. It's a rough job. That was a rough job.
Yeah, was it sweaty work when you were there all day digging through the rubble looking for them?
I've been very clear that Hamas must return that last remaining deceased hostage as well, and that will be the full commitment. And then we get on to other things, and we're committed to...
Don't they have to disarm in the first part too?
Ensuring Gaza is...
Oh, sorry. Yes, I am live. I am live right now, Stagmus. Yeah. I'm live right now. I'm on early today because I got to go down to NAM.
Properly governed and beautifully rebuilt. It's going to be a great plan, and that's where the Board of Peace really started. And I think we can spread out to other things as we succeed with Gaza. We're going to be very successful in Gaza.
Yes, with Trump Plaza Gaza, and it's going to be a new Dubai, only lamer.
It's going to be a great thing to watch, and we can do other things. We can do numerous other things. Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations. You know, I've always said the United Nations has got tremendous potential, has not used it, but there's tremendous potential in the United Nations.
Yeah, largely because stuff that either Russia, China, or we shut down.
And you have some great people at the United Nations, but so far it hasn't. You know, on the 8 wars that I ended, I never spoke to the United Nations about any of them. And you would think that I should have. You would think they could have done those 8 wars, but they couldn't have. And they tried, I guess, in some of them, but they didn't try hard enough. But there's tremendous potential with the United Nations. And I think the combination of the Board of Peace with the kind of people we have here, coupled with the United Nations, can be, you know, something very, very unique for the world. It's for the world. This isn't United States. This is for the world.
Yeah, this is just a gift I'm giving or whatever. Now, never mind the fact that it's going to take in huge amounts of money.
As everyone can see,
that won't go anywhere except to the members.
Today, the first steps toward a brighter day for the Middle East and a much safer future for the world are unfolding.
By the way, this dude, hold on. This dude right here. Where is he? Hold on. This guy right here. Why isn't...
Before you...
I don't know why my... Oh, it's up here. The guy in the red striped tie on the left is over it. He's not even looking Trump's direction.
Yes. Together, we are in a position to have an incredible chance. I don't even call it a chance. I think it's going to happen. To end decades of suffering, stop generations of hatred and bloodshed, and forge a beautiful, everlasting, and glorious peace for that region and for the whole region.
By the way, this is exactly something Timu Antichrist would do before he declares himself the Prince of Peace and I guess calls himself God in the middle of the Temple on the Mount.
Of the world.
Except Trump, because he's Timu Antichrist, would probably truth sinkhole it from the inside of the temple.
Because I'm calling the world a region. The world is a region.
That got me. The world is a region. The world is a region. Yes, we're all. If you think about it, I'm thinking of it as a one region government. The right gets all freaked out when I say one world government. So I thought maybe if I call it the one region government and region will just be code for world. The world is a region. If the world is a region, then that means there has to be like life on nearby planets. So is this the region that has humans on it?
We're going to have peace in the world.
In the region of the world, in the general region of the world, in the world, yeah, in several regions within the world where the world region is.
Boy, would that be a great legacy for all of us. Everybody in this room is a star. Or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, if you're not here, you're not a star. You're little people.
There's a reason that you're here.
Yes, money. It's the World Economic Forum.
And you're all stars. You're the biggest people, the most important people in the world.
Fuck you.
Most powerful people in the world.
Fuck you.
And when you use that genius that you have, that very unusual, very inspired genius, when you use that for peace, the opposite of peace has no chance. So,
what is the opposite of peace? I always forget. It's that word that no one can ever say, right? It's like the N word, which I think is nipple.
I just want to say it's tremendous to be with you, and I think this is something that we're doing that's very important. This is the most important. I was so looking forward to being here. And
yeah, we can tell your energy is exploding.
Yesterday was a tremendous success. A lot of good things happened, but this was something that I really wanted to be here and do, and I could think of no better place because so many people were together.
And how can they arrest a guy for being, Epstein's co-conspirator when he creates the Board of Peace? What are you doing? I created the Board of Peace. You can't release the Epstein files.
And now to bring the Board of Peace and
this is what happens when you try to start the Board of Peace. The establishment, the deep state doesn't want peace, so they release the Epstein files. They blackmail. They do. No person can ever avoid this. Now, most people aren't friends with people like Jeffrey Epstein, and it is a unique situation, but nobody would ever have a chance of being president. If this is the standard, how is anybody supposed to live up to it? If they can come after me, they can come after you. Even though you obviously don't operate in a hive of billionaire pedophiles.
Of course, I ask Sheikh Issa of Bahrain and Foreign Minister Barita of Morocco to join me in signing.
Ooh, big names.
And ratifying the Board of Peace Charter. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So he introduces the first two, and then he goes over and sits down at the little signing table. And the first two guys come over, and nobody knows what they're supposed to do. And somebody just said, "Sit down, Mr. Trump." So they bring out they're all signing on to the charter for the Board of Peace. So he signs it, and then they sign on or whatever. And then Caroline Leavitt introduces all the other people so he doesn't have to say their names. Got kind of that right face slump happening again.
Okay.
I made a boom boom in my diaper. Thank you. Thank you. He's signing autographs at this point.
Congratulations, President Trump.
He gets the leather bound one, and they get a shitty manila folder. No offense to Manila.
The charter is now in full force, and the Board of Peace is now an official international organization.
So we have peace now, right? So you can declare yourself the God in the flesh, and the end times can now start, right? What time is the rapture? Because I would like, look, I recognize you don't have to undress before the rapture. You will just be yanked right out of your clothing. But some of what I wear is very tight. So I'd like a moment, if I could, because I just don't want my whole body going up through the neck of my t-shirt. I just feel it would be uncomfortable. And if I'm rejected once I get up there and I come back down, the neck will be all stretched out.
We will now continue the signing ceremonies, beginning with the President of Argentina and the Prime Minister of Armenia.
Oh, she's not even saying their fucking names now. Do I sit over here? Do I sit? Where's my chainsaw? What am I signing here? I got to get a look at this. Thanks, sign it, guys. I'll just sit here while you guys sign it. I already signed mine. I already did my homework. You guys do it. Nice job. Good job. Nice job. Good job. Don't they... You're not going to hold yours up for them? What, do the other two guys get it? All of it.
Next up, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan.
Yeah, this is like Comic-Con. This is just that, like, if you pay an extra $200, you get to sit down and sign something with a stickhead.
And the Prime Minister of the Republic of Bulgaria.
Biggest names in the world. Biggest, most genius, beautiful, intelligent, disturbed geniuses in the world. Just powerful and doing a fantastic job. All right, thanks. Sit there. All right. Thank you. Is it time to make the donuts? I think so. So he's just going to sit there while they all sign him and hide his cankles, I guess. You don't expect him to stand there while they all sign this, do you? Does he not trust them? Anyway, so that's what this whole thing ends up being. She doesn't even bother.
Next,
he's just droopy.
The Prime Minister of Hungary and the President of the Republic of Indonesia.
Think it's easy what? Killing your own citizens? You got a good signature there. That's some squiggly. I don't even understand your language. Tell me again how you shoot people for having drugs in their pocket. Oh my God, this is fucking embarrassing. And then they go to this, and then this. That's the guy from, that guy over there. That's Kazakhstan's president.
Prime Minister.
This is the guy Putin tried to kill and failed. Looking right down her shirt. All right, there you go. Yeah, she's doing the Macron handshake. Good move. Don't worry. I will make sure your son lives in peace and security after you are driven from your home country. You can always retreat to my country. That's my mom over there. That's your mom. Hello. Hello. Oh, hello. And sign it. And there you go. And then these people come on. More of this. And we'll sign the thing. Like your signature. It's a nice signature, huh? His signature's better. This is becoming like American Psycho when they were comparing business cards. Oh, and Hitler. There he is. Decided to grow out the sides of his mustache. It was a little too on the nose. No pun intended. Trump's hiding his hands and his cankles. Anyway, so this goes on, and then they sign all these things like this, and they just bring everybody there, and then I don't know.
Security Council Resolution 2803.
And he signs this.
Trump and all Board of Peace members could please take their seats in the front.
Yeah, so that the white seat is for him so they can take a picture together.
It states Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who will speak about President Trump and his accomplishments with.
Oh my God. They made him come up and do a whole speech about this shit too. And they played video, and there's Steve Witkoff. They're basically all kissing his ass, and they go through the committee, the technocracy they're going to set up to run Gaza. Yeah. Well, let's hear Jared's speech. I want to hear what Jared has to say. This is the guy we hear from we've heard from Witkoff. We've never really heard. We very rarely hear what
So
Jared
that we
has
get
to
on
say.
behalf of the president, States J.D. Vance for all the secretary of Susan hearing.
And I have to say, one of the great honors for me of being able to work on this has been working with Steve, who really is as brilliant as he is. His heart is tremendous. He's a lot of fun to be with, and even in some of these.
Not as fun as Jeffrey Epstein. I heard that's the actual quote that Trump used about Jeffrey Epstein. That can't be an accident.
Very difficult moments where we didn't think things were happen. Working together really was an amazing treat. I'm going to go now today just through a couple quick slides just to show you the progress that's been made in the last couple months. It was just over 100 days ago that we got the final deal done, and everyone was celebrating and joyous about the hostages coming home and the end to this long war that nobody thought was possible. And Steve and I were panicking, saying, what do we do next? How do you implement peace? And as you guys know, peace is a different deal than a business deal because you're changing
Is it though?
a mindset.
Yes, that's Jared Kushner.
And in Israel, there was 2 years of very intense war. For the people in Gaza, there was more than just 2 years of war. They had 20 years of hopelessness being ruled by a terrorist organization. For the people in the Middle East, their hearts were
That they voted in 2006.
pulled by this. And throughout the entire world, it really was weighing on us. And so we needed to think about, what do we do next? How do we change the habits? How do we change the behaviors? And we really got to work right away. And the team that Steve thanked, including the White House team and the team, the volunteers, it's really been an incredible effort, very entrepreneurial. And we really did it in the way. I've been working now with President Trump for 10 years on politics. And what continues to amaze me is that he always takes a first principles approach and says, what's the most optimal outcome? Aim for that. Whereas politicians are always focused on the downside or what could go wrong. Or
First principles approach is not the most optimal. It's what are you baseline trying to solve, work towards that singular solution, and don't worry about any of the fluff, which often has to do, especially in the tech world, with all the stuff that makes us human.
to make it a little bit better. He always says, aim for the best possible and do your best to get there. And if everyone thinks it's impossible, that's even more reason why you should aim for it. And so really thank you for the leadership and the inspiration for doing this. And I think you'll see today we've achieved more than thought was possible. And our ambition is still to go for something,
He's going to fall asleep.
I think, better than most people think is possible as well. So let's see if these things work. They never usually work. Good. So quickly, I'll go through this 2-year war, 90,000 tons of munitions. There's over 60 million tons of rubble there, and tens of thousands of fatalities. Through the ceasefire, we were able to get to through the 20-point plan, ceasefire, release of hostages. Getting the UN resolution passed was a huge, huge effort, really thanks to
I don't know what more you need. I've got a timeline. Look, the arrows are all pointing from left to right, so obviously this is happening.
Mike Waltz and the whole team there. They did an incredible job. And we've then, with the help of the UN, we've worked very, very well with them. This is why you need a new organization like the Board of Peace to work with the UN. I want to thank Tom Fletcher. Did an incredible job of really getting it going. We've done historic humanitarian aid. Going forward, number one thing is going to be security. Obviously, we've been working very closely with the Israelis to figure out a way through de-escalation. And the next phase is working with Hamas on demilitarization, which I'll talk about in a second. But without security,
Working with Hamas on demilitarization. You know that thing that they said they will not do?
Nobody's going to make investments. Nobody's going to come, build there. We need investments in order to start giving jobs. We want to take these people. 85% of the aid of Gaza, 85% of the GDP of Gaza has been aid for a long time. That's not sustainable. It doesn't give these people dignity. It doesn't give them hope. And so we want to use free market economy principles. A lot of what President Trump spoke about that he's doing in America, we want to bring the same mindset, the same approach to a place like Gaza to give these.
Right. That's a great idea. How about you could solve all the problems in Gaza by pretending they're having a manufacturing boom? Also, why doesn't just let tariffs the most beautiful in the world? Why don't you have Gaza tariff all the food aid?
People the ability to thrive and have a good life. Let's see. So on the aid, I mentioned the UN. So now people are talking about famine. 100% of the food needs are met, and that's been overabundance. The cost of goods have gone down tremendously. Over 55,000 trucks have gone in, and over 1.4 million pallets. So it's been the largest humanitarian effort done into a war zone that anyone's been able to tell us about. This really has been.
Yes, that was all part of Biden's deal that you guys made part and parcel of this, and that Netanyahu said, yeah, I only want to do one more. I'm good with that deal, but give me 10 more months of bombing.
Great joint effort that everyone's been able to do. And so it's a great thing. We all just heard from Ali. We have been so impressed. Steve and I were speaking to him and the entire committee. Such bravery of these people to step up. And we've worked with the Palestinian Authority, who's been helping us as well. But
the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza. NCAG.
This committee is the first time. It's a technocratic, apolitical committee. I really
technocratic, apolitical.
want to thank the Arab.
It's the technocracy of America, and they're using this as a pilot program.
Partners for helping us select the right people to do this, and we just need to believe in them and support them. I put this up here. It's probably a little too small for me to read, but this is really important if you saw the mission statement. So Hamas's mission statement was, we need to destroy the state of Israel. That has not worked well for the people, as we've seen. Their mission statement is, we are committed to establishing security, restoring the essential services that form the bedrock of human dignity, such electricity, water, healthcare, and education, as well as cultivating a society rooted in peace, democracy, and justice, operating with the highest standards of integrity, transparency. So these are.
Oh, that's good enough for me. Those guys said it and wrote it on that piece of paper. Oh, it's good as done then, I guess.
Things. Their goal is to have peace and to help their people.
Now do the Patriot Act.
Which is an obvious mission statement for.
Just how patriotic was it? I think it was sort of, but you probably think it was awesomely patriotic.
Government, but actually fairly novel for Gaza. So we did a master plan. We brought in, I thank you, Keir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B.
We're going to enforce.
We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they built.
So there's going to be a new soccer field and a couple of running tracks, and then some apartment blocks, and then parks.
Cities like this in 2-3 million people, they build this in 3 years. And so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen. Rafah will start with, this will show a lot of workforce housing. We think this could be done in 2-3 years. We've already started removing the rubble and doing some of the demolition. And then New Gaza. It could be a hope, it could be a destination, have a lot of industry, and really be a place.
New Gaza. Jesus Christ. Coastal tourism, transportation, and an oil rig.
That the people there can thrive, have great employment. Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment.
I mean, what the hell are you talking about? What is this? Is there a little, did one of these slide into the ocean?
Opportunity for
or is that a boat?
Everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security, and it all starts with governance.
And it all starts with money, and that's where you guys come in. You give us the money, we sit on it until we do something. And during that time, if we want to loan out billions of it and make money off those loans while we're waiting for these projects to move forward, which they never really have to do, we can just sit on a giant wealth fund of 50 to 80 billion dollars put forward by the world that we will manage.
Final note, I'll just
manage. I mean, you skim the cream off, and that's a form of management.
say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices from all over the world, and we're watching who does education the best, who does healthcare delivery the best. All of these things it's not secret IP. All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America.
Told you. It's the technocracy pilot program.
If they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're sexful with Gaza.
If you're sexful? Sorry, what?
Copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're sexful with.
You're sexful. Okay, so sex tourism, that's how you're going to pay
Gaza
for it.
is really show how do you do peace implementation.
So it's like the new West Palm Beach.
Which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just document these learnings and make them available to all else who want to use them in the future. So demilitarization, this is something we're starting now that we have a new government in Gaza. This government will be working with Hamas on the demilitarization to
single civilians. One legitimate civilian transitional authority governs Gaza. First NCAG and later the Palestinian Authority when it completes its reforms. One authority, one law, one weapon. All weapons authorized by one authority only, NCAG, which is their technocracy company. Monopoly on force. All militant arms group, internal security, police organizations. So one of the things they think it will work is seizing all the guns, and only the government has guns. So one of the first things that they're saying doesn't work is a Second Amendment. That's literally monopoly on force. These are the principles of demilitarization they're putting forward. And by the way, I would love to hear maggots talk about this, especially the Glenn Beck prepper adjacent crowd. Palestinian-led, process led by Palestinians, internationally verified. Personal security for disarmament, heavy weapons decommissioned immediately, personal arms registered and decommissioned by sector as NCAG police becomes capable of guaranteeing personal security. The end state, only NCAG sanctioned personnel may carry weapons. Demilitarization unlocks investment. Reconstruction only in sectors with full disarmament. Amnesty and reintegration. Disarmament reward with amnesty and reintegration. Sounds like they're trying to recreate Canada.
Really take the principles that were agreed to in the document to the next phase, and hopefully that will be successful. Without that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back.
I'm digging. I literally can't wait to hear these folks address that. If that's what's working, we should do that here. And monopoly on force being that's a big phrase amongst the right wing. They always bring up Ruby Ridge and Waco when you bring up monopoly
people
of
of
force.
Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important. So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter, but then creating the conditions to move forward. So thank you. Final point I'll just make is this is really only possible because of the work of so many people and President Trump's great leadership. But a lot of you have been asking, how can we help? So the countries have all been incredibly generous. We'll be doing the first conference where we'll announce a lot of the contributions that will be made.
Contributions that will be made. And the fund it will go into will be managed by Jared and Steve Witkoff.
In a couple weeks in Washington. From the private sector, there'll be amazing investment opportunities. I know it's a little risky to be investing in a place like this, but we need you to come, take faith, invest in the people, try to be a part of it. And then finally, I'll just talk to people on the media and on the social media, which is this deal only happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together. We worked with UAE. We all worked together to make this happen. I see a lot of people trying to escalate, criticizing Israel or Israelis criticizing Turkey or Qatar. Just calm down for 30 days. I think that the war's over. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people.
And a $50 million sovereign wealth fund that we manage.
Everyone wants to live peacefully. Everyone wants to live with dignity. Let's put our efforts towards promoting those who are doing the work to build this up, like Ali and his committee. Let's focus on the positive stories, and let's just calm down, turn a new chapter. And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible. So we're going to continue to work every day. We need all of your help to do it. And again,
and by help, we mean money.
and I just really want to thank President Trump for his leadership in doing this. This would not have been possible without your commitment to this. Everyone thought it was impossible to end this war. You never gave up. You never stopped. Every time there was a setback, you told us to try harder. You gave us different ideas. And we've made several impossible things happen just in Gaza to date. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make even more impossible things happen. So really thank you.
You can't actually make anything that's impossible happen. Just for the record,
For your
if that's what the word
amazing
means.
leadership.
So ass kissing, slides, and a fundraiser. That's what this is really about. This is about raising billions of dollars into a sovereign wealth fund for Gaza that will be controlled by Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and Howard Nutlick and Scott Bessent and the Trump family. That's what this is about. That's why we have not seen Ivanka lately.